Hello, folks. My name is Rani Al-Mujammar, and I am a Toronto-based artist, community organizer, anti-oppression and liberation consultant, and educator. I'm making this video to kind of give some context and clarification for the fundraiser that I've recently posted, which is the Islam and Blackness, Gender and Sexuality fundraiser. So this work, I'm really grateful to be doing the kind of work that I do. I get to talk to roughly 20 to 45,000 people a year to engage them directly in talking about art and justice. And I'm really blessed to be able to do that. But one of the aspects of my work that's really important to me is my work around Islam and Blackness, which has been the most challenging to organize and fund for a number of reasons. I've been organizing these panels, workshops, and conversations for about 3 years. For this particular series, there's been about 2,000 people directly engaged in conversations. I fund the series largely out of pocket. I pay for everything myself, as well as some money that's been fundraised from the community. There has been one instance where we received a $600 donation from the In Spirit Foundation to fund food for one of our events. However, it has been extremely difficult to find public funding and support for this work for a number of reasons, primarily because of the intersection of anti-Blackness and Islamophobia collectively. So a lot of times people think that, oh, you shouldn't be charging for this event. The reality is I actually don't make money from these panels. Each panel costs me out of pocket anywhere between $2,000 and $6,000. So it's a lot of money for a working artist and a single mom like myself. I've had lots of support from graphic designers, artists, and people volunteering to help put the event together. And every single past session of Islam and Blackness has been sold out with a long waiting list. So I know that we are hungry for these conversations. I know that they're necessary. It's really important to me because Black Muslims are silenced from speaking about our experiences with anti-Blackness in Muslim communities. We're being told that it fuels Islamophobia, but anti-Black racism transcends borders and cultural and religious contexts. It's the most accessible currency of white supremacy globally and the most accessible currency of Arabic and Arab supremacy in Islam. So for me, or Muslim communities, for me, we really need to pay attention to these conversations because evidence shows us that Black Muslims are actually disproportionately impacted by Islamophobia through legislation, immigration policy, criminalization, poverty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We need room for these conversations and these platforms to have them in honest, difficult, nuanced, complicated, healing, and necessary ways. There's a deep urgency for this conversation to happen. It really frustrates me because it's gotten me the single most amount of hate mail, predominantly from non-Black Muslims, saying that, oh, I'm giving Canada and Canadians in the West ammunition in their fight against Islam. I am single-handedly responsible for Islamophobia, apparently. But what that says to me is that be quiet about your suffering, wait till we get our freedom, and then maybe or maybe not we'll get to you. Another thing that I get is that we all get justice in the afterlife. And as much as that's wonderful, I would like justice now. Okay, it is part of my faith actually compels me towards justice in this life. If we see injustice and we do nothing about it and it doesn't move us, what does that say about our condition? What does that say about our humanity? And lastly, because we can't ask people to prioritize their identities or wait for their liberation, because I know that it's Black people who pay the price when we do these things. So it's really important to me to be able to fund this work. I am still going to help pay for it out of pocket, but I would like to raise $3,000 to help cover food, transit, childcare, and accessibility expenses, documentation, space, and money for the panelists. I don't ask people to work for free. It's not fair, and it's a difficult conversation, and it's a lot of work, and they get exposed to tremendous amounts of hatred. So for me, without being able to compensate people, particularly the people who are bringing their intellectual and emotional labor into this conversation, and the people who are doing their feminized labor for this conversation, it kind of takes away from really like the moral and the ethics of the work. So I would really like to be able to fund that and to pay for people's time and their energy and to make sure the event is accessible as possible. So if you can support, please do. If you have questions, you can email me. My email is Rania, R-A-N-I-A, at Rania Writes, RANIAWRITES.com. So please reach out to me. I will do everything I can to answer your questions. The fundraiser link is below. If you can't donate money, please spread the word, share it. The event will be taking place in June in Toronto, Canada. If we get enough funding, we can arrange a live stream so that we can have greater access to the conversation. It will feature lots of remarkable Black Muslims at the intersections of queerness, transness, womanhood, masculinity, poverty, people from all walks of life to really help us understand the complicated, nuanced, and diverse lived experiences of Black Muslims in Muslim communities in the West, and those of us who have lived abroad as well. So I'm really grateful to be able to do this work. Thank you so much for your support. Share, like, donate, do everything you can.